Welcome to Subgenre Sickos, the podcast where we analyze movies from specific small genres that pop up for a few years and then fade away for the most part. We look at the signifying tropes, notable figures, what works, what doesn't work, and their enduring legacies. So join us, won't you, while we discuss the movies. Creeps, ghouls, sickos, everyone, welcome to our show, Subgenre Sickos. You already know what this show's about, and I'm not going to say it now. This is one of your hosts, Greg Orm, and as always, I am joined by...
another one of your hosts, Steve Skinner, and this week we're taking some medicine.
We sure are. Some medicine for melancholy. Even, which is the name of this movie. But first, I just want to say, this is the first one we are recording post-show launch, and so I just really wanted to thank everyone for being so supportive so far. I hope I am not eating my words in 6 weeks when everyone decides we've had enough of this. Yeah. 2 is good. 2 is my limit. Good luck, guys. So if you're still here, we still very much appreciate you. Yes. Anyway, what? Go for it.
Oh yeah, we had I'd say successful launch for just a couple of nobodies trying to talk movies, and it's just really have been pleased to see the support, and apologies for the swears to those who don't appreciate it. But if you're still listening at this point, then you know what you're in for.
Yeah, if you are a member of either of our family that does not like swears, we already told you that that's going to happen on this, so at this point, it's on you. Now that the housekeeping's done.
Oh, we've kept house, and now we're here.
We're here to talk about Barry Jenkins, the director of Moonlight, If Beale Street Could Talk, The Underground Railroad, and inexplicably Mufasa, the Lion King prequel. His first film, Medicine for Melancholy.
No appearance by Mufasa in this one.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a bummer.
Yeah. Real solid career besides the Lion movie. I hope he gets back to more of this.
Yeah, it seems like he has a couple things on the horizon coming out. Because, he's... everything I've seen of his, I've really liked. And even, this movie, which may not be as fully realized as some of his others, is definitely is a good sign of things to come.
Going into this one, like, immediately, you can see whoever is making this knows how a movie is supposed to look and has their own ideas about what that should be. The color grading specifically is very interesting. The cinematography is excellent.
Oh, yeah.
It's the craftsmanship of this one. It's not a shock that like his second feature blew up and is still very beloved. That is, of course, the 2016 Best Picture winner, Moonlight, which also does interesting things with color and has beautiful cinematography.
Yeah, a running theme. Yeah, he has his own style, like outside of whatever the mumblecore aesthetic is, and it's just probably the most stylized of any of the movies we've seen. Like at least it feels like the most like intentionally stylized.
Yes, intention is a great word for what's going on here. Every technical aspect is so intentional in a way that a lot of the other ones, even the ones that we really like, even the ones I maybe even enjoyed more, aren't quite doing that sort of thing. Which isn't a knock on how those other movies look. It's an aesthetic unto itself, but this is just like a very specific thing. I'm
Yeah.
struggling to find the words, but yeah,
Yeah,
like
much
it,
yeah.
I've heard from like festival programmers that usually within the first 30 seconds of watching a submission, you know if you're watching something by a real filmmaker or not. And that tracks with this. Like within 30
Oh, yeah.
seconds, you're like, oh, yeah, we're in good hands here.
Yeah, it's a little tough to talk about this movie though, because as far as a story and dialogue and things like that go, the most of this movie is pretty light on that. It's just kind
Yeah.
of people walking
And
around. But yeah,
like neither of us had seen this going in.
yeah.
And it should be noted that this is a movie written and directed by a black man with two black leads that are almost exclusively who we are watching.
Hmm.
So there are things that I'm sure that we are maybe less knowledgeable about or even just completely missed, maybe not qualified to talk about. Uh, so we'll just say that right away. So no one is expecting us to be smart about things. We also grew up Mormon, which has its own racial
We got baggage. We have our own
yeah,
baggage, but our intentions are
yeah,
pure, and
yeah,
we'll do our best despite the blind spots.
yeah, yeah. I say that not to excuse us, but just to say that we are aware of our own limitations as two white nerds watching a movie that is not about our lived experience,
Hmm.
which it's good to watch things that don't have anything to do with your lived experience. It's how you grow and learn about other people and cultures and lifestyles that you would otherwise never have any experience with.
Yeah, I don't. Was it Ebert or someone else that said like movies are like empathy machines?
I was thinking of that exact quote. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's Roger Ebert.
So yeah, it's always
Yeah,
good to have those different perspectives, and I think yeah, like it's nice with a larger diversity of filmmakers getting those different perspectives because it's just like you don't want things to get too
yeah.
stale. You want to keep things interesting.
I know last week I said I was anti woke shit, but that was a lie. I tricked you. I am very pro experiencing things that I would not otherwise experience from different perspectives. I think that's a very
Mhm.
good. I think that's something that everybody should do, honestly. That's why I love watching films from all around the world, from all different kinds of filmmakers. It's
Yeah,
a great way to get a window into the experiences of others so we can all come to a better place of understanding, which I think we all, this entire, especially this country, but the world at large, desperately needs a bit more understanding about people that are not themselves, myself
yeah,
included.
yeah, for sure. Always more to learn, and
Yeah.
yeah, can never fully understand. So it's always a journey, and yeah, I mean, like we said, Barry Jenkins is just a great filmmaker. Like
Yeah.
regardless of any race or anything else, he's just obviously that's the lens he's
Oh,
making things from because that's the experience. But it's just he's just fun.
yeah.
He's just
Y-
phenomenal. And again, yeah, this movie has the seeds of something great, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's
I guess also in short, if you're one of those people that somehow found this podcast and got 7 episodes in, but is also one of those people that's like, hey, fuck this DEI shit, huh? The wokes. Uh, this show is not for you. I don't mean to like shrink our audience, but I don't think you're going to have a good time. And I probably don't want to engage with you in the comments. So,
Yeah, we're not, an overtly political podcast, but sometimes
No.
it comes up because it's just we're riffing and we live in the world, and sometimes the movies have a political point of view. Like this movie, yeah,
Yeah.
is very political in parts.
Yeah, there's a lot of Wyatt Cenac's character has a lot of strong feelings about race.
Yes.
And yeah. So yeah, we're going to get woke is what I'm saying.
It might make us broke, but we're going woke.
Yeah.
So,
I'm already broke.
hey.
Yeah. All right, now that that awkward preamble is out of the way, we will
This
talk.
this is our most serious episode, but we'll let it's not
Yeah.
just the movie. That's we it's a little just life is a little tiring, at least for me right now. So we'll do our
Yeah.
best to get the energy up.
Yeah. I've had sort of a melancholy week myself, and I don't know if this was exactly medicine for it. I think I really tapped into the latter part of the title while watching this. But yeah. Anyway,
So this
pretty good
movie,
movie.
yeah, pretty solid.
I,
Yeah.
I don't know if I won. I don't know. I haven't seen Mufasa, and I would say this is my least favorite of his work that I've seen.
Mhm.
But there is still so much to appreciate, especially the technical aspects, which I think are just so thoughtful. And I love when people do something really personal with that sort of thing, which
Yeah.
is the case here.
Yeah, it's I think just an interesting story too, even though it's like story light. Like the premise, I think fits like very strongly like into mumblecore because this is like kind of a relationship type of movie. Like it's or a
Yeah,
potential relationship. It's yeah, it's about a guy and a girl who have a one night stand, and it seems like while they're blackout drunk because neither can remember anything from the night
yeah.
before, the next morning, and then
Well, she remembers that she didn't give him her name and then gives him a fake name immediately.
yeah,
But and their waiter at the place where they're having breakfast to just sort of awkwardly uh, work through the night before is played by Brent Weinbach, who is a very funny stand-up. He has like 2 lines in this movie, and I don't know if you see his face. I just saw he was credited and got excited because he's a really interesting, unique stand-up, and
yeah.
that
I,
was
I
cool.
recognized his name in the credits, and
So yeah, they have breakfast at the diner, and he offers to share a cab to bring her home and go back to his place. And it's a uncomfortable cab ride.
yeah, she's saying as little as possible. He's kind of moving forward the relationship and like any conversation at all. He's very much the driving force in their hungover morning journey because he's just and I think it becomes clear why she's a bit more standoffish later on. But
Yeah,
he's clearly just like okay, like don't know what happened, but I'm into this girl. Like let's see if there is something. Obviously, there was something last night. Let's see if there's anything
yeah,
more this morning. But yeah, so she gets out of the cab, like just kind of like running out of the cab, just like as as fast as possible.
yeah,
And he gets out and like yelling after her, and like yeah, she gives him the name Angela, and the way he was yelling Angela just reminded me of Tony Danza in the show Who's the Boss.
yeah.
He's like Angela, Angela, but you find out yes, but he turns out he like lives like across the city.
The cab driver takes him home. It's a $25 cab fare, which in 2008, that's a pretty big cab fare from my
hmm
experience in cabs.
hmm
He can't afford it. The cab driver says, well, your purse is on the ground. And it turns out that she's left her wallet behind.
Yeah.
which he then uses to pay for his cab.
Yeah, he never maybe he slips money back in the wallet off screen, but that's just yeah, that's never really addressed further on him
Yeah.
using her money to pay for the cab ride home.
Yeah, I thought that was really a really interesting character moment early on. Um, yeah, I like when characters do something unlikable, even though they're the ones we're supposed to relate to and empathize with. Because who amongst us hasn't done something not great?
Yeah. We all have our sins. And
Yeah,
yeah, he has the wallet and opens it up, sees it's another name, Joanne actually.
yeah.
And then yeah, what he does what anyone would do in 2008. He looks her up on MySpace.
There is a lot of MySpace in this movie. So much MySpace.
Well,
And
MySpace and even funny people.
yeah, and you better believe I clocked that she had a Le Cahier du Cinéma quote in her little quote next to her profile picture, as we all had on MySpace. Uh, that is, I don't know if you're familiar with that publication,
I'm
but
not.
it is a French publication that's existed since 1951, and a lot of the major directors from the French New Wave actually got their start by like working as critics for that publication,
Oh,
like
cool.
Truffaut, Godard, Claude Chabrol, I think Melville also. Yeah, they all wrote for that publication. So the film nerd in me, when that popped up, I was like, oh yeah, we're still in good hands, and I can even see how some of that stuff has maybe influenced what he's doing here. Uh,
Mhm. Nice. Yeah,
yeah,
there's a lot of yeah, like that's kind of what it reminded me more, almost as much of like Mumblecore. It just felt like a very modern kind of French new wave type movie.
yeah,
Because there's in a part when she plays the piano or the guitar later. I only know this because I had the subtitles on, but it literally says this like theme from the 400 Blows. And it's like, oh
yep,
yeah, like of course there's a direct influence and connection to the French New Wave.
yeah. This was made by a real film nerd,
Yeah.
uh, which I think speaks to why the technical elements are so thoughtful. And
Hmm.
yeah, so he decides to track her down so he can return what's left of her wallet. Uh, and just shows up at her house. It seems like it takes him a couple tries to find her house. Oh, and in the cab, she keeps saying like she doesn't pay rent and she's
Oh
unemployed.
yeah.
Or yeah, or maybe that was at the diner.
I think
Um,
at the diner, yeah, when he's like, "What do
yeah,
you like?" He's like, "What are you doing?" She's like, What's my job?" Or like, "What do I do?"
yeah,
And yeah, she says she's unemployed.
yeah. So he gets to her place. It's much nicer than you would expect for someone that does not have a job or pay rent.
Yeah,
And it turns out it belongs to her boyfriend, who is a white guy curator who is in London.
out of
So
town in
she,
London.
yeah. So she cheated on her white curator boyfriend with our main character, Micah, played by Wyatt Cenac,
So
is what we learn real quick.
yeah, so it makes sense. Well, why she'd be very standoffish and not super eager to engage with this guy who she doesn't quite remember what happened with the night before.
Yeah. And I'm sure there's a lot of regret.
I was gonna say, what I guess what's your relationship with Wyatt Cenac like before this? I mean, this is like pretty early in his career, but I guess when did you discover Wyatt, or like I guess yeah,
So I knew
what are your feelings?
I the same. My experience is the same as like probably most white people like me, The Daily Show,
Hmm.
which I watched a lot around the time that he was on it, back in my more willing to watch that type of show days. I thought he was really funny. Then I moved
Yeah.
to Brooklyn, and it turned out that he lived in the neighborhood where I worked, so he would come into my store pretty regularly, actually.
Nice.
And I mean, I wouldn't say I got to know him real well, but we've had nice conversations, some weird, in a good way, conversations.
Hmm.
Uh, we got into like a good 5 minute debate about whether or not super speed or super strength is better. And I think we agreed to disagree, but with a mutual respect for where the other person was coming from in this obviously extremely important topic.
What side did each of you take?
This was 12 years ago. I don't
Oh,
remember.
oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. But good points were made on both sides, I'll say.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I would say nice guy. And I feel comfortable saying that because, I think that you can tell a lot about a person by the way they treat, like, employees in retail or at restaurants or whatever. And he was always
Hmm.
good to the people in my store, which is appreciated. So,
Much
yeah,
respect.
yeah. So he's somebody I always like to see show up and stuff, basically.
Yeah, and like I'm looking at his like filmography and stuff, and he's like in a lot less or a lot fewer things than I like thought. I was like, oh yeah, like Wyatt Cenac, movie and television's Wyatt Cenac. He's like been in tons of
Yeah.
stuff, and it's just like, oh no, like it's like surprisingly light. But I think just because yeah, like his run on the Daily Show was for I guess a pretty long time. So like you, yeah, I think that's where I first saw him and just yeah, always liked him on the Daily Show. And then yeah, remember checking out some of his stand up and really like that. He has a great bit where he talks about how he got too high at like a sporting event, I think.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he convinced himself that he had somehow contracted adult onset Down syndrome. And it's very funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
I,
Yeah. We're
I
we're not
yeah,
gonna,
I
we're not gonna do it justice, but you should look it up.
yeah, that's just yeah, one of those kind of
Yeah.
stand-up routines that has stayed with me for a very long time.
Yeah. I so there is a free show in Manhattan that I think has since moved to Brooklyn that I used to go, and I think it's $5 now. But when I went, it was free, and it was just a stand-up showcase that would get big names. Like I
Mhm.
saw pre-canceled Louis C.K. a bunch of times there.
Oh, nice.
Kevin Hart showed up once.
Oh, damn.
Uh, yeah, it was. He's yeah. I was never really a big Kevin Hart guy, but like in the room, it's undeniable.
Mhm.
But yeah, I saw Wyatt Cenac do that bit at that show, and it was
Oh,
really, really, really funny. And then I
yeah.
think he came into the store the next day, and I was like, "Hey, good job at Whiplash last night," and he seemed surprised.
It's like, "You were there? Okay."
Uh, like, Look
Yeah,
at me, I
it's
look like everybody else in the audience at Whiplash.
yeah.
That is a
Yeah.
room full of people that look exactly like me.
That's the alt comedy scene of 10 to
Yeah,
15 years ago.
yeah, yeah. Uh,
But,
but yeah,
that's
funny guy,
yeah,
and
I was gonna
I
say
think
yeah,
he's
oh, sorry.
I was just gonna, and I think he's really good in this. I think he does
Oh,
a great
yeah.
job.
Yeah, he's very effective, just very naturalistic. And yeah, it kind of makes sense, like his whole slant on his character and stuff. Because I mean, yeah, he's on the Daily Show and just kind of with his other some of his other projects. Oh, like he's very kind of politically minded and things. So
Yeah,
yeah, this type of character, like it doesn't seem like too dissimilar from what I imagine him to maybe be, but like still like I feel like distinct enough and like very lived in, even though like there's not again like it's pretty dialogue light for long stretches of this movie, but it's you get
yeah,
you get a pretty good sense of him and his character.
Yeah. In fact, both leads I thought were pretty
Oh
strong. I
yeah,
am much less familiar with her. I'm not sure if I've seen anything else with her in it, in fact.
she, she doesn't even have a picture on IMDb.
Yeah.
Oh, she is in one of the. She's in the best Twilight movie.
Okay. Yeah, Tracy Higgins is her name. Which Twilight movie is that? I've only seen two of them, and one of them I had a hard time not laughing because I was 23, and
Best one
it
is the
made a
last
lot of
one.
people mad. Okay, I definitely didn't see that.
Yeah, Breaking Down Part. See, I think I've seen the first two and Breaking Down Part Two, and that's it. And Breaking Down
Yeah.
Part Two. I mean, you know what happens in it, right? Like the giant battle.
I know very little about what happens in even the two that I've seen. uh, I know about the baby, and I know the werewolf
Yeah,
guy falls in love with the baby,
he imprints
which,
on her. Correct.
yes. Like, we're Mormons, so we should know about Twilight, but other than seeing the first two in the Dollar Theater for a laugh with my friend, uh, I know very little about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Breaking Down Part Two is an insane movie for many reasons. It is so ridiculous, but it is a nonstop blast. It is so much fun. Like,
Okay.
and this is just me saying, like, yes, like it is dumb, and there is tons of things that are very cringe and don't make sense, but it somehow all rolls together in a very just kind of campy, entertaining like results. Like it feels like it just really like more than some of the other, at least the other two I saw, like embraces kind of a camp.
Yeah. Part of the reason why I was laughing so hard at the first one is it felt like it was taking itself so goddamn seriously.
Yeah.
And one of them, well, several of the main characters in daylight scenes are covered in glitter. And I was really struggling with taking that seriously. And the other people in the Dollar Theater on Valentine's Day maybe didn't appreciate my feelings about that very much.
Sounds like a hot ticket.
Yeah. Yeah, a future guest on this show and I went to those first two uh, because we were like 22 or whatever, and we liked making fun of stuff, and I was there. And the first time it was packed, people did not like that we thought it was funny. The second time it was a mostly empty theater, and we
Hmm.
were there first, and then like a family sat directly behind us in the empty theater, which I thought was like the first one when we saw it. I understand why those people were maybe mad that we were
Hmm.
laughing because they didn't really have a choice but to be by us because it
Hmm.
was packed. But the second one, they had the entire room and they chose to sit behind the two college age guys that were definitely not there to sincerely experience New Moon. So
Yeah.
in that case, I think it's at least a little bit on them. Like, be smart.
Y- Yeah, it's if you're in an empty theater, give each other space. You
Yeah.
don't need a
Or just
crowd around each other.
or just like walk into the room and say, "Oh, what are we seeing? Twilight Saga New Moon? Okay, let's maybe not sit behind the two guys that probably seem like they're going to be assholes the whole time."
Two guys who will definitely ruin the movie.
Yeah. I'm sure
But
these two college age boys are here for the love story and no other reason.
they're
Yeah.
big fan. Who knew there? It's getting to the college guys too.
Yeah. Anyway, I remember nothing about the second one. The first one, I remember glitter and baseball, and
Yeah.
and people frowning at me. Uh, so so Yeah, maybe I'll have to
Well,
watch part 2. Maybe I'll only watch the last one with all context I could have had at one time completely wiped from my memory.
I mean,
From
that's literally what I did, and I
yeah,
had a I had a great time. It's yeah, that is it. I mean, if that would be the only Twilight movie I recommend to anyone, even if they haven't seen anything, I would just be like, you can watch this last one. It doesn't make any sense, but just hang on for the ride.
maybe I'll set up like a big public screening so I can complete the hat trick of pissing off everyone around me while watching a Twilight movie.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I don't know how to organize that, but I'll figure it out.
I know in the summers back in Utah, they would. I mean, I think like they do it everywhere in the summers, the summer movies, but they would just get like, yeah, the blow up screen and like put it in a park and just be like, here, movie, there you go.
Oh yeah, a friend and I went to go see Pee-wee's Big Adventure at one of those, and for some reason, I think we were there with her child who didn't want to be at the park. We just
Hmm.
like went back to her house and watched it there, which was,
Those,
I mean,
yeah,
we could hear it better in the house. So, yeah.
they've definitely gotten better at the sound and screen quality for those because the early days it was pretty much yeah, just if it was a very like non-ideal way to see a new movie. So it'd be like if you're seeing something you've seen before, it's still not great, but I can't imagine like seeing something for the first time in that context.
Yeah. And it's a park. You're going to have noise and disruptive things, and you can't really get mad at it because it's not traditionally a movie house.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anywho.
Anywho, Wyatt Cenac wears this little biker's hat, and I kept going back and forth whether or not I liked it.
Oh, I was into it.
You're into the
I
little
kept
hat.
thinking, yeah, I was like, I wish I could pull something like that off, but I would look like a soda jerk from the 50s.
I would look like Tweedledee and or Tweedledum if I tried wearing a hat like that. Not a great look, yeah, but he does pull it off. You're right.
Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, he wears the shit out of it. It's cool.
Hmm.
Anyway, he shows up at her place. He finds out that she has the boyfriend who she talks to occasionally on the phone throughout the movie.
Hmm.
And we don't get the impression that it's a particularly fraught relationship, but
Yeah,
it does seem like he's a little bit maybe more focused on work. We never see or actually hear him. We only ever hear
yeah.
her end of the conversations because this whole movie takes
Hmm.
place over one day.
And yeah, it's something that Micah notices in the apartment. Is like, oh, he's a curator. It's like, but there's no art on the walls.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a weirdly bare apartment for
Yeah.
two people that work or that are involved with the arts because she makes t-shirts with the names of women directors on them. And throughout the movie she's wearing a shirt with Barbara Loden's name on it, which is cool.
Very nice. Yeah, it's like meta. It's a meta trope. It's not only are there
Mm.
graphic tees, but one of the characters makes the tees.
Yeah. Yeah, and one of my notes is I would buy one of her shirts. I like that type of shirt with I have a few director name shirts because of being a film nerd, much like her character.
Yeah,
Cool shirts.
cool shirts indeed. Yeah,
Yeah.
but like she's like needs to shower and he's kind of just like staying there, like kind of testing it. And then like while she's showering, he's snooping around a little bit. Which some of it I'm like, is this okay? Like, because he even like opens like the bathroom door for a second and closes it. It's almost like he
Yeah.
has the thought to like, oh, like maybe I'll like surprise her or whatever, and then he realizes like, oh no, that's a terrible idea actually, and very creepy. And this is probably
Wait,
already creepy
wait,
enough that I opened the door.
wait a minute. That would be insane to do. Why am I halfway through the action? Yeah.
That you see him like he's drawing on like a piece of paper, like he finds like a marker and a paper and makes a little drawing. He does makes a little stick figure drawing of them and puts it on the wall. So there's art on the wall. So that's
Yeah,
charming. And then he continues to charm her by doing that old trick. The trick is old as time. That why any man learned to play the guitar is to impress a woman he finds attractive. And so he
and
does. He doesn't play
so,
Wonderwall, but he does play the
no,
theme song from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
kind of. It doesn't quite sound like it, but the words are there.
The words are there.
Mm,
He's not a great guitar player, but
no,
he's trying the old, like I said, the time honored trick of the trade.
yeah. And then she takes a call with the boyfriend, during which he silently points out the art that he's placed on her wall, and she likes it. And I thought that
Hmm.
was nice.
There's starting to be a
Uh,
spark, despite her very much trying to distance herself from him.
so they end up going to museums, and this is the part that I had a hard time with, just because there's like no dialogue for, or very little dialogue for a lot of this stretch. It's just kind of watching two people silently hang out.
It just is like you're at a museum because it's just
Yeah,
silent and just yeah. I always when I have gone to museums with people, it's always like because I don't know. There's like a weird. It's almost like a library type feeling in a museum where it's like you're not supposed to like talk. Like everyone's
yeah,
just supposed to kind of like be quiet and appreciate the art and only communicate in very hushed whispers. But it is weird to like go with someone there and because you want to talk with them, but then it feels like it just feels weird to talk. I don't know. Like I always feel uncomfortable in that.
yeah. I don't know. I've had nice times with other people at museums, uh, but I feel like watching this, I realized how much more I would have rather just gone to the museum. It's a lot more fun to experience a museum in
Mhm.
person than to watch two people silently be in a museum. That's kind of where this one kind of suffers for me. I don't know. I just feel like I wanted a little bit more to happen. I mean, there's nice, quiet little things like they start holding hands,
Mhm.
and that's kind of sweet. And there's little moments like that. And then there's some like interesting history of black artists
Mhm.
in the museum. But again, I feel like I would rather go to the museum than kind of get an idea of what it is by watching two other people in it while they don't have any dialogue or anything.
Well, now they just make the Medicine for Melancholy VR experience. You could just
Uh,
go in VR and just be in the museum and be in the movie.
yeah, I feel like I would get more out of that, because then I could like really take my time with the exhibits and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's like you said, yeah, this is just a long stretch of them walking around and it's yeah, I think maybe part of it is also just like her hesitancy and her maybe trying to like distance a little bit, not fully engage, but humor him like she's curious but not committed because it just yeah, it takes her a while to warm up, I'd say. Like he's
yeah,
usually yeah, Micah's kind of the one trying, but yeah, it takes her a while. And yeah, I thought it would I guess based on the premise and nothing else, I thought this is gonna be kinda like before sunrise where it's like, oh like two people walking around, talking, like in cool place and like falling in love. And and yeah, so like for these long stretches where we aren't talking, like it is, interesting to look at because of all the technical aspects, but it's just still just like okay, like you'd be especially with the expectation of like oh there's going to be like this dialogue
yeah.
that
Because there's other movies that I've seen. Again, I can't speak for Mufasa, but the other two, like, they're the dialogue is all really interesting, and the interpersonal relationships are all really well drawn and interesting. And so I guess I expected a little bit more of that. But then I think those other two, he's either co-written, or in the case of If Beale Street Could Talk, it's based on an existing work. So one of my takeaways was, I think it was smart for him to pair up with other writers with his later work. Just because I don't know, I think, I mean, again, the technical stuff is so thoughtful and well executed. And it's not that the ideas or the dialogue, when there is dialogue, is bad. It's just I wanted a little bit more from it.
Yeah.
Like, we've covered things in this very series with significantly worse dialogue and less to say.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I really enjoyed those scenes, like when they do have the dialogue. Like I was waiting for those to happen, and so when they do, it just like was such a strong contrast. And yeah, it's like they're able to
Yeah.
riff. Like he's doing Bill Cosby impressions at one point, and it's in. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, every black guy has his Bill Cosby impression, and it's like, oh, 2008. So
Yeah.
little did we know.
Yeah. It is not lost on me that that's the same time period as the Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie, where they
Oh
are
yeah.
in 2008, and the way they discover it is Bill Cosby is on the cover of a magazine, which they don't even really comment on. They're more excited about one of the smaller headlines.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say we didn't know, but like people had been talking about it. We just weren't really listening.
Hmm.
So, yeah. One thing I liked that he said is that he's the #2 aquarium guy in the whole Bay Area.
Yeah, you
Like
can't
when
put
they're,
yourself number one.
yeah, no, he explains why the other guy is #1, but he's not sad about being #2. That's for damn
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Yeah, I
like when
guess.
there is dialogue, like it's good and interesting. I just wish there had been a bit more.
Yeah, we just wanted more of the good stuff.
Oh, the Cosby competition was also a
Oh
chili
yeah.
cook-off. He got first in the Cosby competition, but second in the chili
So,
cook-off.
yes, it's a good joke. It's funny.
Yeah, yeah, I really like that. Yeah,
Yeah, so that kind of happens a little bit later because they're walking
yeah.
around and they end up at his place, and then she makes him shower because he hasn't showered all day, and they've been like riding bikes around the city.
Yeah, one of my notes is they're bike people in San Francisco. Way too many hills. No, thank you.
That's stuff you're gonna have.
Yeah,
You gotta have crazy legs, man. Their legs must be
yeah,
strong.
yeah.
Down the hills, though, very fun.
Yes, that I can handle. It's the going up that I am not interested in.
Not fun at all.
Yeah. But she kind of asks him why he likes San Francisco, and this is one of the parts of the movie that I really did love. It's the first time we get like real color in the film. And there's just like a whole San Francisco montage where he's talking about what he loves about it, and it's really cool, and there's such a good energy to it.
Hmm.
And it immediately pulled me back in after however long of just kind of watching them walk around in silence. It should also
Hmm.
be noted that when she makes him take a shower, he makes sure to let her know he's not using soap when he goes in there, and I thought that was funny.
But then she does some snooping of her own and opens up his laptop, sees that he was cyber stalking her on the MySpace, and so she checks out his MySpace page.
Yeah. Yeah, he does not have a reference to French cinema literary journal in his headline. That's for damn sure.
But yeah, like they get to talking, and then they make dinner together, and one thing leads to another, and they're hooking up again.
Yeah, and they smoke a joint together,
And then
and like,
she wants to like they have like some sort of like he kind of goes on one of his rants after they end up after they start smoking weed, like he goes on a rant, and it seems like she just wants to like leave the apartment. She's just like, we just need to go somewhere. It's like I can't like do this. Oh, is it the converse? Because he has like conversation about like they have a conversation about like how they identify themselves as like in
Yeah.
one word. Because he's like listen, like I identify myself like I see myself as like a black man, but if I had to go like with one word, like it's just black. And he's like asking that of her, and she just like is not like interested in that or doesn't see the world in that way like he does.
Yeah,
I guess
she's
is a
not
better way to put it.
as interested in defining herself by her race as much as him. It doesn't seem like. Because he has a lot of thoughts about race throughout the back half of this movie that she does not really seem to share. And it's not like real arguments, but it's just kind of disagreements about what that means for their particular identities.
Yeah.
She's more individualistic, it seems, whereas he's kind
Yeah.
of more into a solidarity
Yeah.
type thing.
I think that's a good way to put it. It's like
Yeah.
yeah, just different priorities in their lives.
And it
And
doesn't feel like the movie's
it's
making a judgment as to which
yeah.
is better. It's just they're two different people and that's how they view the world, which I think is, yeah, that's how a lot of people work. It's
Yeah.
good.
But yeah, they decide to leave, but they can't ride bikes. And this was I wrote this line down. It made me laugh. He said, "You can't token ride. If you do that, you'll give marijuana a bad name."
And I don't know if the listeners of this podcast know this about me or not, but I am an enjoyer of cannabis. I don't know if that's come up every episode, twice.
A few
You'll
times.
never, yeah, you will never catch me on a bike uh, during or immediately after partaking. I mean, good luck catching me on a bike anyway, more because I don't have one currently than any other reason. I like riding bikes. But like if I'm stoned, I'm not leaving the house on a bike or any other way.
Oh, I was gonna say you're turning on the oh, I blanked on the name. So now this is a bad
Blue
rant.
lights? Yeah.
Blue
Blue
lights,
lights?
yeah.
Yeah, that's where I was going to. I'm watching blue lights with my cat and enjoying watching. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention about that last week is when they ask the guy his name and he yells clock. There's like a good 5 minutes where they're trying to figure out what he said. So they're like, "Did you say Qua? Did you say your name is Qua? Sir, is your name Qua?"
Sure.
And he's like, "Clock, motherfucker, it's clock." Yeah. Like I said, I was loving it. I thought it was awesome.
What a character.
He said his name was Qua. Anyway, back to this movie that is not that.
Yeah, yeah, the opposite of Quack. Yeah, she wants to go dancing, you know. She just wants
Yeah.
to vibe. So they go to the club and they're dancing, and it's a lot of bangers playing. And that was yeah, another thing to note. Just like every needle drop in this movie is phenomenal. Like this soundtrack, like, and obviously like, and all these are like pre-record, you know, already existing songs. Because it was like, well, his original soundtracks for both Moonlight and If Beale Street could talk are phenomenal. So he clearly has a
Yeah.
great musical ear as well as like a visual eye.
Yeah. Yeah. The every needle drop I had Shazam out. I was like, ooh, what is this? Like it's all very 2008 indie sounding stuff, but I was 22, 23 and very into indie music at that time, so it's like right in my Q zone.
Yeah.
So every song I was like, yeah, this rules too. Yes, I will be listening to this later.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I felt. I'm just like, yeah, gotta
Yeah.
make a note of all these songs.
Yeah.
Bishop
Yeah.
Allen may not impress anyone, but these songs, but these ones might.
I mean, I have ever since we did that episode, I have been listening to a lot of Bishop Allen.
They're good.
But now I'll be adding this to the mix too.
Yeah.
Because lots of cool stuff. The dancing was very fun. It really did give you the feeling of being in like a basement area of a bar where they have musical performances, which is something I'm fairly familiar with, having played in bands on and off since high school. Like I've played rooms like that, and the vibe was right. It's just a good time.
Yeah, and they keep drinking though. They're drinking beers, having shots.
Yeah.
They're drinking and drinking.
Yeah.
And maybe Micah ends up drinking too much. Oh yeah, because yeah, they stop dancing, and I love there's these two guys that come up to him and like start talking, and
Yeah.
you're like, what is up with these guys? Because they're kind of like big looking guys,
Yeah.
and you're just like, are these
Like,
guys like trying to sell drugs? Like, what are they doing? Are they like
well,
gonna?
that's how they approach them.
Yeah.
It's like I've been to like the areas right outside Times Square where sometimes you'll just find a guy on the street hustling to sell drugs just out in the open. Just be like, I got coke, you want coke? And so I thought that was what was about to happen. And I was like, wow, they're really getting the feeling of being solicited cocaine on the street by a stranger pretty well. Like just two guys accost them at a taco truck while they're trying to buy tacos. But
Yeah.
it turns out these
They're
guys are
sell
not selling drugs.
they're selling hydration. I think that's what they're
Yeah.
listed at as in the
Yeah.
credits. And yeah, they're selling Arizona tea, kombucha, and SoBe. I love that.
Yeah.
Just I haven't thought of SoBe for so long. I used to drink SoBe all the time.
Oh yeah. My note for that was I miss SoBe. They had that like pear oolong tea one. I used to get that like every day
Oh,
on my lunch
nice.
break. That was a good SoBe.
I didn't know the flavors. I just went by the colors. Like I like the pink one, which is probably like a strawberry banana type deal, and then I like the white one, which I have no
Yeah.
idea what that one was. But yeah, because they had like those awesome thick glass bottles, and then like at a certain point they switched to the plastic bottles, and it just was never as good. They lost it.
I am not really one of those regressive, we need to return to the past guy. Like I said earlier, we're a couple of wokes over here. Like we're two guys trying to be our best in the world. Uh,
I live in Portland. Come on.
yeah, yeah, and I try to define my existence as separate from the world around me in red state Montana. Although politically lately, Montana has been impressing me. Our state Supreme Court just said that trans rights are completely protected under our state's constitution, and the governor can't do anything about it, and neither can the federal Supreme Court. Trans people are protected here.
Right on.
So,
Y'all just want people to, yeah, you just want to, everyone
yeah.
just is like, leave me alone and I'll leave you alone up in Montana.
Yeah. We're also we're also like really gearing up to push back against Citizens United. And I
Oh,
learned
I
both
read
of
that.
those
Yeah.
things like in the same 30 seconds and was like, oh my God, this state's actually kind of cool. We got legal weed and those two things. That's great. All this to say, we need to return to a time where SoBe was available at the gas station.
We need
Yeah.
the glass bottles. RFK Jr., if you're out there,
Yeah.
make him bring SoBe back. You
Yeah.
made him bring beef tallow back for
Yeah.
frying fries and onion rings. So make him bring the glass bottles.
Yeah.
No more microplastic SoBe bottles.
Oh, I was just about to say I'll take plastic if I get my sweet, sweet SoBe back. Just give me SoBe.
We
You've
got to do
taken
the
so much.
glass.
Yeah. This can be your way of paying us back for trying to take Tylenol away or whatever the hell that was about. Yeah.
I keep taking Tylenol, so I'll just deal with my adult
Yeah.
onset ADHD or whatever. Which probably not even
Yeah.
adult onset, probably is just true at this point.
Oh, yeah. There is I've never I should not say that I am on the autism spectrum, so I won't. But I will say there's a lot of evidence that one could place me there and probably not be wrong. But I don't have a formal diagnosis, so I'm not comfortable completely committing to that identity.
You've had a
But
lot of the rehearsal season 2 Nathan Fielder-esque revelations. And so have I. That's the best way to describe it. It's like, oh, this is relatable.
Yeah. I was watching that episode where he was talking to the autism center lady, and everything he said was like checking off boxes, and I was like, yeah, I've done this by like looking up DSM definitions and just like what the traits are and checked off like 90% of the boxes. So this is extremely relatable. Again,
Yeah.
no formal diagnosis. I'm not comfortable committing to the label, but a case could be made. Yes.
Yeah.
Also, I talk like a fucking weatherman. Come on. You've listened to this. I have a weird cadence. I
That's
sound
right.
like I'm constantly about to tell people there's a storm front coming in.
We just had one pass, so hopefully not another one this soon.
It is
yeah.
late April, and we had snow today. Like, more snow than we had in the entirety of January today.
Goodness
It was
gracious.
almost 80 degrees 3 days ago.
Wow, that is such a big change.
It dropped 35 degrees in the past 3 days.
Wow, that is wild.
I went to Subway today, and I could barely see the road in front of me. Like, when I got on the main stretch to get to Subway, I was like, this might have been a bad choice.
Well, see you on the other side.
Yeah. But I survived. When I got to Subway, the nice lady that is always there on Thursdays and makes my sandwich that I have a good rapport with is like, yeah, we're closing at 8 today. You're the first person I've seen in 2 hours.
Oh, wow.
And I like gestured to the window and I'm like, I don't believe that for a second.
Risking your
Anyway,
life in that snow for Subway.
yeah, for Subway.
It's survival, you know. You need your
Yeah.
you need your nutrients.
And I didn't want to make them myself. Anyway, I thought the hydration specialist guys, this isn't really a comedy. There are like some funny moments, but that moment
Yeah.
was really funny to me. That made me
Yeah.
laugh out loud. Like, this is a really fun subversion of what one might expect. A lesser filmmaker would have just had them offer Coke, but this is so much better. I prefer
Oh
this.
yeah, it's like so specific too. Like with the kombucha, it's like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
like that's such a San Francisco specific.
I mean,
But
even in New York, I've never had like hydration specialists approach me with weird shit, but I have had like other very strange, benign hustles thrust upon me while I was minding my own business on the street. Like, there's nothing wrong with what this person is selling, and it's funny that they're doing it, but I'm
yeah.
yeah.
I'm not
I have
interested.
$3. I have $3.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, and I guess they're I think it's before they go to the club, they're walking around and like they stumble in like I don't know what kind of meeting it is, but it's like a meeting of people just like talking about like gentrification in San Francisco. And
Yeah.
it's a very interesting conversation, just like the way they're talking about it. It's like, oh yeah, it's like, well, like the east side is like being gentrified and like that's actually pushing people over to like the East Bay and Berkeley and Oakland and like because those people are moving to the East Bay, like they're pushing more people out further and it's just like so interesting, especially back in like 2008. It's like, oh man, like
And
this stuff was already happening and already a problem and like in the 18-year since it's like San Francisco, I mean most major cities it's just gotten like so much worse with that stuff.
what is especially interesting is every person talking about the gentrification is adamantly against it, but they all look like textbook white people that are gentrifying neighborhoods. They look like the people that you see move into a neighborhood and go, all right, well, this is about to get really boring and shitty and expensive real quick. So I
Yeah.
thought that was interesting. Like,
It's just San Francisco liberals there for you, doing their
yeah,
thing.
yeah. But that was definitely an interesting interlude.
Yeah, kind of thematically similar to some of the stuff he was talking about, like with why he loved and hated San Francisco, and
Yeah.
just yeah, it seems like, and we were talking about this a little earlier. It's like, oh yeah, we could do a whole subgenre of like San Francisco, like not
Black
issue movies,
filmmakers.
but
Yeah.
Black and Mexican, because Blind Spotting is
Oh, yeah.
the director's Mexican, but like yeah, like Bay Area, like auteur stuff, because it's like Ryan Coogler with like Fruitvale Station a few years later, and then Boots Riley with Sorry to Bother You, and just yeah, and Black Man in San Francisco. It's like, oh yeah, like there's a lot of people
Do you,
talking about this. So he's ahead of the curve in a way, because he's kind of doing it before for the rest of them. And he's not even from there; he's from Miami. So I thought that was
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. But all the points they make about gentrification are correct. It really.
Yeah.
I lived in a neighborhood in New York that was mid gentrification, and I was one of the poor people in that neighborhood. So it was interesting to experience being priced out of where I lived in a way. Like the cool restaurants with like the neighborhood flavor, like the people that had been there for years making their like family recipes and being replaced by fucking Chipotle. Yeah, didn't love that. Give me the good pizzeria made by like people that brought the recipe over from the old country.
Yeah.
Like Chipotle's old country is McDonald's, and that's not even a country. So this was like also around the time of like it wasn't was it E. coli or whatever Chipotle
Oh
had
no.
like a scare
Yeah,
with something like that
there
around
was something up.
2015.
Yeah.
Yeah. That happened and then like a week later 2 blocks away from my apartment they're like, we're opening Chipotle.
Great timing.
Uh,
Great timing,
yeah.
Chipotle.
Yeah. Good job, guys. And as a person that went to Chipotle a lot before and after that scare, even though I just talked shit on it, they never recovered flavor-wise from that.
Yeah.
Like it was fine before, and then it was a lot shittier after the scare. And it doesn't feel like for reasons related to the scare.
That just yeah,
But
maybe use that as like a way to source different meat or something to say it's better when it's like just cheaper quality or something.
yeah, this isn't Doughboys, but if you want my thoughts on Chipotle, my DMs are open.
My thoughts are one fork.
Yeah.
I'm a hater. I've always kind of been a hater, but
Uh,
that's just yeah, we can't get into
no,
it's not our
no,
territory. We can't encroach on the Doughboys.
no. I also haven't had Chipotle in years, partially because it got shitty. So maybe they bounce back. I doubt it, but maybe.
We'll see. But they walking. He's drunk. He's ranting. He's ranting about indie music in the movie.
Yeah.
Not at
Yeah, and
Chipotle.
he's talking about how most bands are all white people, but he does bring up TV on the radio,
Mm,
which only has one white person. I didn't catch if he mentioned Block Party though.
I don't. I had this. Yeah, I didn't. I don't remember if I saw that on the subtitles.
Yeah, but he definitely shouts out TV on the radio, which made me happy as a long time fan of that band.
They rock, and I got to see him open for the LCD Sound System last year, and it was great. And I wish you could have been there, Greg.
I really wish I could have been there too. Those are two of my bands. Again, indie music 2008. I know way too much about that stuff.
It's your jam. You got mad at me because I kept calling them a ska band.
Yeah, they are not ska. They
They
don't
got
even
like
use horns that much.
I saw a guy who looked like Walton Goggins playing the trombone, and there were like at least 7 people on stage. That is a ska band, Greg. I'm sorry.
No. No. I've seen that guy that you're talking about because I've watched so many live videos, and he looks more like Father John Misty, who is also not ska.
Well, from my vantage point, he was rocking the Goggins look, and I saw people skanking up front, so you can't deny when you see a skanking pickle happening.
Oh, you can, and I will every time. I will say this is a blight on society. Get this out of here.
You just don't like to have a good time, Greg.
I don't like lazy puns. I think that's a lot of it.
How are you on bowling shirts and pompadours?
I like them separately but never mixed. Pompadours are good in a rockabilly context. Bowling shirts are good in a bowling alley context. But you should not cross the streams, is my thoughts.
I cross the streams and I love it.
No, yeah, I will. Okay, the specials are good. That is my ska concession. The specials are great. But that's a whole different wave of ska, so it's not the same.
You never got into Goldfinger?
I like their cover of 99 Red Balloons, which I would not classify as ska.
What about Superman? You've played enough Tony Hawk to hear Superman like a million times. It's good.
I feel like my appreciation of that particular song is more of a Stockholm Syndrome type of appreciation, just because it was always on when I was playing that game. But I was always more excited to hear Jerry Was a Race Car Driver or a few other songs.
That Goldfinger Hang Up CD is good. The one with Superman.
Yeah, that cover of 99 Red Balloons, fun as hell. I believe horn free.
You know, they all can't be winners.
That being said, for a while I was threatening to write a biopic of the dancing guy from Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, which I was not planning on researching at all. It would have just been full of lies. And I was not planning on fleshing out any of the members of the actual band and just having him collectively refer to them as the Boss Tones, or if he had to talk to them individually as Boss Tone 1, 2, 3, etc. It was going to be a weird script. I threatened a lot of people with that, and none of them saw the vision, and then I smoked too much weed and forgot to do it until now.
Pull out the old draft file. Get that
Yeah.
get that puppy going. The world needs it now more than ever.
I think I will separate Dickie Barrett from the rest of the Boss Tones, just because I don't think it's good to have all of them yelling about vaccines. We'll just have one guy yelling about vaccines. Also, Dickie Barrett is the most Boston name that exists, so it really makes sense that he's from Boston, because I think it's illegal to name your child that if they are born outside of the greater Boston metropolitan area.
He's somehow 200% Irish.
Yeah. Yeah. If you are named that and you are not from Boston and you go there, you have a lot of people yelling, "My culture is not your costume." You change your name to Frank Smith or you're going to jail. Anyway, so he's ranting about bands.
Ranting. And then she starts firing back at him a little bit now. How she's basically just like, because he's kind of being like, he's kind of a bummer with all this ranting. Like, they're having good fun times and they go outside and he's bringing up this stuff and it's just like, not the time for it. It's like, you're killing the vibe, man. And she's just like, listen, like, I've been cheating on my boyfriend for 24 hours. Like, what are you doing with you? Like, this is so annoying.
Yeah. Could you try not to be a bummer and make me regret this more?
Yeah, it's like, this is already hard enough without your rants. And like she just kind of confronts him. It's like, oh, like, do you think just because we're both black, like we should be together? Like, and she's like, right,
Yeah.
like that's kind of like is he saying that? Like, 'cause if that's so, like that is like the baddest like presumption. Like that's not.
Yeah, because he does go off on like interracial couples and pairings you
Mhm.
don't see a whole lot of, and it is a little bit weird. So
Yeah,
yeah, kind of fully on her side there. But yeah, and so she threatens to leave and kind of does for a second,
yeah.
but then
She gets in a
yeah,
cab and like goes around the corner, and then just
yeah,
like stops like half a block up the corner, up the road. So yeah, because
yeah,
I'm like, oh, she's gone, but
yeah.
then they start kissing again.
One of their conversations is like, who uses the beat better,
Oh
Under
yeah,
Pressure or Ice Ice Baby? And he is arguing in defense of Ice Ice Baby. And I definitely wrote, okay, Joe, I think you can safely go back to your white curator boyfriend if he's going to be saying shit like that.
you're all right, you know. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. That was kind of like because at first he's like, yeah, trying to do
mm,
that game with her, and she's like a little
yeah,
hesitant, but then as they're getting looser, yeah, they get more into it, and that's kind of like a fun recurring thing between them throughout the movie.
yeah. But she's right. Vanilla Ice compared to Queen and David Bowie, that's not a competition.
That's
His
yeah.
argument is Ice used the beat better. Uh, I don't know that I can sanction that take.
think that's I don't know if Vanilla Ice is from Miami, but he wears the University of Miami sweater in the Ice Ice Baby video. So I'm saying that's like Barry Jenkins, like Miami solidarity with
Yeah,
Vanilla Ice.
yeah, yeah. We will talk more, much, much more about Vanilla Ice in 6 to 8 months.
Yes.
That is a promise with our long threatened golden age of hip hop and rap movies series because Cool as Ice must be included so I
One of
can
the best.
justify buying it.
One of the best there is.
Yeah.
But they end up back at his place, and at first she's trying to leave, but she ends up spending the night.
And then the movie ends with him watching her bike away out of his window.
Yeah, it's like a really cool like long shot though, because it's like first just
Yeah.
like the building across the street from his apartment. And then like it slowly kind of like backs up into like his apartment and kind of like goes around. I think he's like on the couch, like he's not even on like his apartment is like so small too. It's just like three closets. Like every room is like a closet. Pretty much. That's how it felt. And somehow he
Yeah.
has a fish tank in there. I don't
Well, it's because he's the #2 aquarium guy in the Bay
know. It's
Area.
true. He can make a fish
Yeah.
tank work in a small space.
Yeah.
And then like yeah, kind of goes back to the window, like the window's open, kind of back to the window and then kind of goes down and you see her on her bike, like leaving. I think she's like trying to wave a cab down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so yeah, just a really impressive final shot, and just that's it. She's gone. She did. I heard she did stay the night, but she's going back to her old life before he even woke up.
Yeah. And I really do think it's the Ice Ice Baby thing that did it.
I put her over the edge.
Yeah.
He said that. And it's like there's no difference between you and my white curator boyfriend after all.
He also didn't buy her a SoBe.
Did he buy her? He bought the tacos, but yeah, didn't spring for the SoBe.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's just fucking up right and left.
If you want to win her
Uh,
heart, you gotta buy her a SoBe, man. Glass bottle only.
yeah. I don't know. I would accept the plastic, but I just want that sweet, sweet SoBe flavor. Um. Anyway, yeah, that's Medicine for Melancholy. A pretty good debut feature. Oh, we have talked a little bit about how the color is in this movie a little different as part of the interesting technical aspect. What is interesting about it is why the color is so desaturated. Because it's almost black and white. It's really only like reds and pinks that pop.
Yeah. Yeah, like their shirts or the flowers are popping.
Yeah. And the reason for it is they mention at one time that the population of San Francisco is 7% black. Well, the color is desaturated 93%. So there's a real intentionality to like the look of this movie to sort of accent how they're a minority in this predominantly white city. And I just think it's cool when somebody does a technical thing that's really personal like that means something to them. I think that's the mark of a real artist, is when they're making decisions like that. And I love hearing about it. I think it's so cool.
Yeah, little technical things that also like serve the theme of the movie. I like always appreciate that. And yeah, that kind of I think is a running theme through the movie too. Just I think a lot of why it's an X rants and maybe why he does favor solidarity is like it's like there aren't that many of us here. It's like we are like alone.
Yeah.
Like you go to certain spots, it's like you're not gonna see other people who look like us. Like we are very alone here. And like for him, like yeah, he's I think just so keenly aware of that all the time. And it's like we need to stick and be together because it can get scary out there when we're so outnumbered.
Yeah. Yeah, it's yeah, there are a lot of really interesting things about this movie. Yeah, solid debut feature. Again, I have not seen Mufasa, but of his work, this is probably my least favorite, but that's definitely not to say it's bad. It is, yeah, it's definitely a step up from things like, say, Nights and Weekends or Hannah Takes the Stairs, where I was at least invested in most of it, even if there were long stretches where it was just kind of quiet and I wish there was more happening.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're pretty similar on this where it's just like yeah, there's good stuff, but it's a lot of it just felt a little sparse, but it's like okay, this is like a really solid like rough draft for like who he will become. Like it's a really like solid like jumping off point to like his next feature where it's like okay, like yeah, you didn't have to make 5 movies to figure out how to make something look good. It's like you're able to do that like pretty well from the get-go.
Yeah. So he comes out of the gate with his first feature not fully formed, but mostly formed, and that's more than a lot of people.
Yeah.
A lot of people that you've heard of and probably like even. So, yeah. Yeah, good movie. Recommend.
Yeah. Yes, it's worth a watch. But yeah, my wife and I are going to the Bay Area this summer for I think 4th of July weekend. Just spend like a day or two there. And I'm like, "Oh, I got to maybe check some of these places out if they're still there, if they haven't been like turned into luxury condos by now." But
or a fucking Chipotle. Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah. Anyway, what have you been watching this week?
I've been watching a few things, checking out some new shows. My wife's been watching Imperfect Women, so I've been kind of watching that on and off with her, and it's very. I feel like we started watching more Apple Plus shows just because all our other streaming services have commercials and Apple Plus doesn't, so it's kind of gravitating towards those shows, like because that show's just very like melodramatic and almost soap opera feeling. It's wild if you're in the right mindset, and
strong cast.
Oh yeah, really good cast.
Yeah.
But it's just like a little dumber than you'd expect from that cast. But if you're able to like embrace kind of some of the dumbness, it becomes very like just like oh like it's saucy, it's drama. They're fanning the flames.
Yeah. Well, I watch Blue Lights, so my bar for what is enjoyable isn't super high.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I guess just a couple of things off the top. I guess also on Apple TV, we watched the first few episodes of Margot's Got Money Troubles, that David E. Kelly show.
Oh yeah, that looks really interesting, and also incredible cast.
Oh yeah, I was surprised because yeah, like Nick Offerman doesn't really show up a lot until the third episode. Like he's like barely in the first episode. Like I think he's only in the end, and then second episode because that was kind of the main draw. Like he's had interviews and stuff talking about like doing like about wrestling and how it's like not fake, and it's like, well, it's yeah, like it's scripted, but they're still doing wrestling moves to each other. Like it's still physically demanding.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been enjoying it so far. It's interesting. But like you say, yeah, solid cast. But I've enjoyed it much more since Nick Offerman showed up.
Yeah.
So but
Well, I
then
also
yeah.
I also think Elle Fanning is just like a
Oh yeah.
generational talent. Like Super 8 is a movie I liked a lot more when it came out, but now if I go back and watch it, I mean the end completely falls apart. But what
Yeah.
works is she's like 11 and just
Yeah.
dominated, like incredible performance. Like even in the English dub of My Neighbor Totoro, she's like 3 years old when she's doing the voice work for that movie, and it's
Oh
still
wow.
better than Joseph Gordon-Levitt in Pinocchio
Goes without saying.
or anybody in the recent Mario movies.
Yeah.
Like that's a 3-year-old. Like how? So yeah, I just think she's like a god level talent.
Yeah. She's
Yeah.
seems like she's having a lot of fun in the show.
Yeah.
But I think something we both watched this past week that just dropped on VOD that we've been excited for, and yeah, I was able to check it out, is the Napa Boys.
Yeah.
To the
You know,
Great
there,
Greg.
there's something about those Napa Boys that I like. Yeah.
It
I
is.
watched the Napa Boys.
You watch it and then you experience it too.
Yeah.
It is it is a wild movie. It's if people talk about they
I
can't make dirty raunchy comedies anymore. It's like, well, they can
you
and they
can.
did, and it's called the Napa Boys, and it's very funny.
I almost don't want to explain what it is and just have people watch it completely cold with no idea what's going. But that also kind of seems mean because it's so specific. So I will explain what they're doing. So you have the movie Sideways, the Oscar-nominated excellent film where Paul Giamatti and Thomas Hayden Church go to wine country to celebrate Thomas Hayden Church's upcoming marriage, and it's a dramedy about relationships, and really good movie. What this movie presupposes is that movie had a series of American Pie the Naked Miles type spin-offs called the Napa Boys, and this is the fourth of those spin-offs. So it's filled with unexplained lore, emotional payoffs to things that we have no context for, but it nails that tone so well, and the jokes are so funny and silly, and it never even feels like in a sarcastic way. It's just funny. It
Yeah,
has great lines of dialogue like, "Oh, water, that's my favorite." Water's your favorite? Yeah. And yeah, the places that it goes.
it is a wild ride that is takes every turn is unexpected and just very funny. Especially like
Yeah.
there's like just a few running jokes I loved. Like I don't even want to spoil them, but it's there's just so specific things. Like I guess
Yeah.
there's like a couple scenes where like you can tell it like is like directly like trying to emulate Sideways, but it's like, oh, like well this, if this was the fourth straight to DVD spin-off, like they would have
Yeah.
terrible writers who actually like don't know how to capture that tone, and so they'll
Yeah.
just like write inane nonsense that's not really profound or thoughtful at all, but like try to give it like they
Yeah.
try to give those lines like the same gravity as like the Virginia Madsen scene when she's talking about why she loves wine. Like, it's
Yeah.
just very funny.
And boy, do they latch on to the, like, fucking Merlot aspect of Sideways. Just really hammering home that the writer of Sideways did not care for Merlot. Like, he has a
Mer-
license plate on his grape. I forgot what they call the vehicle, but it is, like, covered with
well,
giant plastic grapes.
it's the wine wagon.
That's right. But his custom license plate is I hate Merlot. And there's a
It's
big running thing of one of the characters finds the only good Merlot. It's
yeah. Merlot is the antagonist of the Napa Boys.
Merlot and Squirm.
Oh, Squirm's the worst. But Paul Rust is
Yeah.
so good as Squirm, but it's just
You guys have
the
seen the
worst.
other three, so we don't need to tell you about Squirm. Yeah. What a treat. What a treasure.
So, yeah, you watch anything outside of the Napa Boys that made an impact?
Immediately following that, I watched The Whitest Kids You Know's animated movie that finally got released, that they were working on 5 years ago prior to Trevor Moore's death. So he had finished all of his lines and approved the animatics. It's called Mars, and it's not my favorite thing that they've done, but I did laugh quite a bit. There's some really, really funny stuff in there. If you're a fan of their sketches, especially like the Civil War on Drugs whole runner that they did, that they've edited into a movie, it's funny. I liked it. Yeah,
Mars. Nice.
yeah, very silly.
That's all you can hope for from those
Yeah.
the whitest kids you know.
Yeah, and it was just nice that there was one last thing that they all got to do together before he passed. And it was nice to hear his voice making silly jokes again.
Yeah. R.I.P. Trevor. He was
Yeah.
the real one. Very funny guy.
He never missed.
No.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the main other thing that I've watched. So, yeah.
Fabulous. Well, yeah,
No
next
Police
week.
Academy this week for me.
No Police Academy, thank God.
No. Yeah, that door is closed.
Well, you'll find some other terrible series to go through. Maybe the Twilight series. You gotta at least do
Yeah.
Breaking Dawn Part 2. That's my recommendation to everyone. Watch Breaking
Yeah.
Dawn Part 2 and have a great time.
I wonder what do you think the over and under is on me enjoying it more than I enjoyed the Harry Potter movies when I finally watched those during COVID?
Oh, I think you'll appreciate this one more because of how insane it is.
Okay. Because I found myself very quickly tapping out of caring about anything happening in the Harry Potters, and yet I still watched all 8.
Yeah, the Corone one, the Azkaban, still my favorite. Still's got the juice.
Well, the next one, I don't remember much about it, because, again, I found myself caring about none of that stuff. Those books were... I missed those books. I had discovered Stephen King by the time they became popular here. I was not interested in The Boy Wizard. It was exacerbated by the fact that I was a small, brown-haired boy with a scar right between my eyes on the bridge of my nose that wore glasses. So, as you can imagine, I got called Harry Potter a lot. Just, yeah, did not care for that cultural phenomena. I don't really understand it now. Because of who J.K. Rowling has chosen to be in this world, I feel pretty confident that I made the right choice of reading Cujo instead. But the fourth movie does have Jarvis Cocker from the band Pulp, who's one of my very favorite people, playing music at like a big party scene that I forgot the context for because, again, I didn't care about what was happening. But I
I think
liked that aspect of it.
it's for the winter ball at the Triwizard Tournament with all the schools, you know. So there you go. There's your context.
Okay. Yeah, I think I had pretty much tapped out on the plot and was just like, oh, fuck, is that Jarvis Cocker? Is this movie good? and then he was not in the rest of it. And I was like, okay, just one scene is good.
Good enough.
Yeah.
All right. Next week we're tackling another first. A couple of brothers who we've talked about. Who you
Yeah.
know, who you might love.
This is, I think, their actual second movie.
Oh,
Maybe
their
their
second.
first working
Okay.
together. Yeah. But they've moved on from playing with logs in a river, and they've made a movie called Daddy Long Legs, loosely based on their own relationship with their dad, who seems very interesting. I have seen this movie. I think it's really funny and dark and interesting. Our good friend Ronald Bronstein is back playing the lead, playing the dad character.
Nice.
Yeah. We got a fun one coming up next week. I'm really excited to revisit it.
I haven't seen it, but I've seen all the other Safdies I've seen. I've liked. Not just like I've loved. So I expect to like this one quite a bit too. So high expectations for Daddy Longlegs. Let's hope I just didn't ruin it for myself by getting too excited for it.
Not to build your expectations any higher, but I was so excited when I saw that this movie counted as mumblecore. This movie is awesome. Yeah. If you liked Frownland, I think you're gonna like this.
Oh, nice. I'm excited. Well, Greg.
Yeah.
We've reached the end. Thank the people.
Yes, I would like to once again thank Nicholas Don Smith for our beautiful artwork. I've gotten a lot of compliments on it since we've now officially launched. People are liking it. I think it looks great. I would like to thank Lumbermouth for our theme music and editing, which I've also gotten great feedback on. And I would like to thank you and I for giving ourselves this opportunity. And of course, I would like to specially thank the audience who has been so supportive thus far. And I hope that this continues for quite a while because I'm having a really good time doing these.
Yeah, it's been fun. And we want the fun to continue. So listen, if we have one listener, we'll make him for you.
Yeah. You know, the stats don't tell me if you don't listen to the whole episode. So even if you just download it, that gives me the dopamine hit. So I'll never know.
We'll
just
never
nod
know.
and smile when I talk about it.
Sounds good.
Excellent.
Well, thank you, Greg, and take care of yourself, sickos.